today 281 of our Gangster Glow Up. Are you ready to put day 281 in the books? And it's why let's go. Kind of choking myself a little. Sorry. We're going to do that. Got to get all ready for today. Already feeling the heat. Today is the day. Our very first time together where we do a fun little reaction while we twirl. All armed and dangerous. So let's see what comes from the truth serum. Hello, beautiful world. We are doing a reaction today. I am so freaking excited. I cannot even tell you, because today we are doing our first ever reaction video here on the Gangster Glow Up. This is our premiere, and the premiere, are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Is all about Bryan Johnson's Johnson. Woo! If you are thinking to yourself, why in the world does Sheri want to do a little reaction to Bryan Johnson, the Liver King? Au contraire, mon frere. We're not talking about Bryan Johnson, the Liver King. He's over doing his thing right now. We have another Johnson on our minds, and that is none other than Bryan Johnson, aka the man, the myth, the legend that created Venmo, sold it for a lot of money like a good gangster should, and created what he calls now the blueprint. And from my extensive research, I have realized, and I have found this out a couple of years ago, that Bryan Johnson loves to talk about and shout out his Johnson. Yes, aka his family jewels, his little sack of marbles, whatever it is you have your own little name for, you can just insert it right now. However, to keep this video as easy as possible for everybody, we're just going to call Bryan Johnson's Johnson his Johnson, because apparently that is all that these YouTubers want to talk about these days. And primarily, one of the reasons why I made this video was because today I opened up the beautiful little YouTube app so I can say hi to my little babies, read the comments, have a great little cup of coffee, and bam, it happened. Right in a row, 3 in a row. It made me think, girl, you need to see this. 3 videos in a row. We started out with Greg Doucette, also known as Coach Greg here on YouTube. I've watched him for like 10 to 15, I don't even remember when he started, a freaking long time ago, okay? So Greg Doucette is an IFBB pro. He's a bodybuilder who has a supplement company. And he was doing a reaction video that another creator here on YouTube had made all about Bryan Johnson. Not Bryan Johnson, the Liver King. Bryan Johnson, the blueprint creator. And if you don't know what blueprint is, and if you don't know who Bryan Johnson is, he is a man that loves to do biohacking and does all different types of experiments on himself and on his family. And by going through the data that he learns from the experiments, he's able to come up with his blueprint protocol to help reverse the signs of aging. And one of the things that goes along with Bryan Johnson's blueprint is his generosity with blessing us with his Johnson. He doesn't only talk about the Johnson,
He'll make posts about the Johnson. He'll lay down and you can see the Johnson and like all, and I don't mean like you can see, you can see a sheet. It's kind of like a tent and it kind of scares me. I don't think I want to go camping underneath there, but I don't like to camp anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But that being said, okay, he's proud of his freaking Johnson. And here's where it gets really funny. Okay, like I said, these are the receipts. He's proud of it. He talks about it. He was on Diary of a CEO and left a question for the next guests that were on there that had something to do about their Johnson. I'm talking about the guy loves to talk about his Johnson. Whipping back to Greg Doucette. Watching the video as he is watching the documentary that this other YouTuber made. So here we go. One reaction. This is the first reaction because we have a double trouble. That's why we're here right now. This would not have like set off my radar unless this was what was going on next. So Greg, like I said before, he starts watching the video and he realizes too that Bryan Johnson is talking about his Johnson. And I will say this, throughout Greg's whole entire video, the whole video, he was talking about Bryan Johnson's Johnson too. And it's like, okay, I get it. However, and I understand, right now in this world, we are all about the HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and men, I think forever, like I think Randy Travis, when he said like, men like to talk about the weather, and little old women like to talk about their old men kind of situation. Randy Travis, you're off the mark here. Because in 2025, all these boys are doing is talking about Bryan Johnson's Johnson. So I think maybe Bryan Johnson might be onto something here. Because Greg, all he did was talk about his Johnson. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Done. He did his video. He got his views. I love you, Coach Greg. I don't think anything bad of you. You do you, boo. If you want to talk about the Johnson, perfect. Then what happened? Well, right after that, literally right after that, I had a creator pop up into my feed. Haven't watched him in years because I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Like, it just seems like when TikTok started, like everybody kind of refigured themselves. But anyways, I didn't even know he was still posting videos. And lo and behold, the first time I see him in years, Fillion, who himself used to be a reaction, like all kinds of different things that he does. He does all the different kinds of things. Like, it's amazing. His channel's awesome. I think he's a great creator, almost 1 million subscribers. Coach Greg has like over 2 million, okay? That's what I'm talking about here. This is why it's even funnier. Fillion came up and I was like, oh, I want to watch a Fillion video. I haven't seen nothing from him forever. Lo and behold, he's doing a reaction video to Greg's reaction video. So guess what happens? Luckily, yes, he does talk about his Johnson, okay? Yes, you got to give that to Fillion. However, he kind of clocked it. He clocked it too, just like I did. I started thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, I have never, ever, like, I've never talked to my friends before, like my girlfriends, about the Johnson. Like it being the most important. Now, don't get me wrong. I know girls talk. I know all that kind of thing. And I understand size does matter. I get it. I really get it. I do. However, you would think that, that kind of stuff should really be saved, for your intimate partner. I mean, why be showing all your stuff out? Because I'll tell you straight up, one thing that Fillion said today that really stuck with me, and I freaking agree with him 1,000%. Bryan Johnson sold Venmo for a F ton of money. I'm talking so much freaking money. At that point, you're rich. And then he decided that he wanted to be rich and famous. Boo. Bryan, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you and your Johnson some real life advice here. But all I know though, that Fillion is absolutely right. Why be rich and famous? Just be rich and go live your life and get to do whatever you want and not be bothered. I mean, hallelujah. Who would think, right? Okay, that's just a sidebar. Sorry I tangented. It's just what it is when it gets on my mind with finances. I would rather be rich and be able to go wherever the freak I want to go without being bombarded. That no worries, nothing. Okay, so that's just what about you? Do you want to be rich or do you want to be rich and famous? What do you think? I don't know. Anyways, that's beside the point. I really truly believe that Bryan Johnson not only has a good Johnson, I think he has a good heart. I think everything he's doing right now is because he truly believes in his mind. He is doing anything and everything he can for himself to show up to be the best, most amazing version of Bryan Johnson and his Johnson can be. That is a fact. Now, that being said, once again, Fillion clocked it. We are talking about men making videos talking about Bryan Johnson's Johnson, and they're generating millions and millions of views of these. And I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Okay, I really did. It just cracked me up. I saw this and I'm like, this is crazy. It's 2025 right now. And like I was telling you in the Randy Travis song, it's like, I remember, I'm gonna love you forever. You know that song? And when he's like, just about what women talk about the weather. Oh man. Yeah, whatever. Okay, we already went over that earlier. I know. I'm sorry. Squirrel. All right, that being said, yeah, Fillion clocked it too. However, what I just thought was so funny, in the first 20 minutes of my day-to-day, I heard more about Bryan Johnson's Johnson than I think I heard of like any other subject in such a short amount of time in a really long time. Like, I felt like this was like kind of like old school YouTube when I would watch beauty videos and they would just go and have different influencers. However, at that point, back then, they were not talking about the Johnson. Not whatsoever. At least not the videos I was watching. That's for sure. I don't know. Please let me know. Am I off here? Am I off? You can go watch these videos. But my reaction to it, I just thought it was so freaking hilarious. That literally, we have in our world right now this amazing Bryan Johnson with the most amazing Johnson. And if I were him, if it is as awesome as you say it is, I would get some insurance on it. Bryan, I was going to save this to the end, but babe, listen. People, it's powerful. It is powerful. I mean, like I said before, women and stuff we think about, it's not like the size, it's what you do with it and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying right now. Yep, the women always get the best advice. Right there. Get some insurance. Size doesn't matter. Just matters what you can do with it. And yeah, absolutely epic. One thing I do wish though, and let me just say, it was really fun to see Fillion's video again today. I just thought I laughed so freaking hard. I was already laughing before because I'm like, wow, this has gone on for a long time now. And it's not just Bryan Johnson talking about himself. It's all these men are reacting to his lifestyle, his videos, and just all that is going on upstairs, downstairs, you name it. It is just truly, it's truly like magical. Because I think that Bryan Johnson's Johnson has brought us absolutely the best medicine ever created, and that is laughter.
because these videos that are popping up about it, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean pop it up that way either. But the videos that keep popping up that are taking advantage of Bryan Johnson's Johnson, I don't know. Is that going to be our next new thing going on, to where all of a sudden we see in the news that, someone got a copyright strike for talking about the Johnson. And then they could just say, no, we're talking about the Liver King. Sorry, no. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. It means so much to me. I know it's a little bit different, but I felt like we should warn Bryan Johnson and tell him, dude, listen, quit talking about your Johnson so much unless you have insurance on it, because it's a moneymaker. It is a moneymaker. There are guys out there making videos and reaction videos and doing the thing. Now, that being said, Bryan has really done his very best and is doing his best to really spread as much love and positivity as he can. And if you look and check out his life, he's done some pretty cool things. And I'm really grateful that he gave me this moment to giggle at, because for real, at the end of the day, I truly do believe you do have a very powerful Johnson. You're right. You have a lot of people talking about it, making videos, having fun, and hey, it gets the views. Except when you come here to stay and hang out with me. But I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because I got my circle tight. And I'm so grateful that you, my dear, are a rock star, a superstar, an angel in my heart, and I will see you manana. One more caveat here, though. Where is Mrs. Blueprint? We're ready for her. It's kind of like Pac-Man. When Miss Pac-Man came in, it was pretty epic. Come on now. Bryan Johnson. Get your Johnson and put your Johnson where your mouth is, and let's get a Mrs. Blueprint. That'll be the next one. I wonder who it would be. I wonder what she'd be like. That would be fun. That is fun. Let me know down below, what do you think Mrs. Bryan Johnson, Mrs. Blueprint would be like? And who is, like, does anyone know, like, what he's into? I don't know. Maybe we can matchmake him. I don't know. Anyways. Later, Gator.
I just finished up this box of hay and opened this box, and I went ahead and I filled all the piggies up. Now he hasn't really figured it out yet, but he will, because he'll go crazy. And little Queen, she is chilling like a villain. And then here we are. Let's look at the pinkos. Itchy, he's kind of into it. Let's see what Scratch does. You coming over to get some hay? It's an all-you-can-eat hay buffet. Okay, because 20 minutes isn't long enough that we talked about Bryan Johnson's Johnson. I just want to like nail this in the coffin real quick. That legit, he's got something going on right now that's like actually doing pretty good. So he might just want to protect that. Bryan Johnson, get insurance on the Johnson. All right, as you already know, I'm clowning a little bit. I absolutely think that what he is doing is so freaking cool. The experiments he does, just the products he comes up with, the community he has, I think it is bomb AF. And even though I don't have the same budget as he does, I feel like I do have the same spirit. I love doing experiments with myself and all the fun little biohacks that I have been doing and that I've done in the past and will probably keep doing towards the future. And my piggies, they're part of that too. It's so cute. I love it to pieces. I mean, who knew? I feel like I'm a skinny piggy, a human skinny piggy, because I love trying out so many new things and just sharing the experience with you. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. I appreciate your time, your generous, amazing grace. Well, it has been an exciting hump day. Thanks for hanging out. Chilling like a villain. The sky tonight is just like everything. So freaking pretty. Now it's time for you to count some sheep, get some beauty sleep, wake up in the morning, and make all of them freaking delicious new memories. Mwah!